The story with John Jones took a very interesting turn this past week when it was revealed by his mother of all people, that John Jones only spent a night in rehab.
Yep. Checked in, checked out. And she thought that was okay. She was perfectly fine with that.
He's educating himself on the subject, and he's going to be at the AFC Championship game at Foxborough because one of his brothers plays for the Colts and the other plays for the Patriots.
Right, yeah, there's lots of Jones in the NFL.
So, is that celebrity justice, check in, check out?
Well, you can call it whatever you want, but I don't think justice is the word to apply because, as we've already elaborated on at length, it wasn't considered a violation of his UFC contract because it was a recreational drug taken during a non-testing period. I know that doesn't make it morally right. I know that means cocaine is still illegal, but as long as he's not being criminally prosecuted for it, there's nothing to be done.
It's been a week and I'm still confused by this because if you fail a drug test for cocaine, you think the cops might be, hey, wait a minute.
Well, he didn't fail for cocaine. He failed for a metabolite that cocaine breaks down into, which sort of means he took cocaine, but doesn't really prove anything. It's not like he had powder on his fingers.
The Nevada State Athletic Commission is thinking of forming a committee to address out-of-competition testing on the heels of the whole John Jones fiasco. Do you think anything will come of that?
I really don't know what'll come of that at this point. The one thing we didn't talk about last week, I'm going to go on a segue here and go in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
When we talked about John Jones testing positive for cocaine metabolites, we didn't talk about the other things that were determined in his sample. One of those things was that he had an extremely low testosterone to epitestosterone level. You know how they're always testing for elevated levels of testosterone where you're like 4-to-1, 6-to-1, 10-to-1, whatever the ratio is that you're over the allowed amount? He was not only under that ratio, he was like 0.26 to 1. Like dangerously low. Like you need to see a doctor kind of low.
Wow.
How was he training for a fight with Daniel Cormier if his testosterone was theoretically that low? And the conclusion you would draw, if you're a reasonable, deductive person who infers what numbers mean based on those kind of stats, he was not producing his own testosterone because he had been taking testosterone. That's what you would think. That's not proof, but that's what you would think.
Absolutely.